Welcome back to ABG's Investor Days. My name is Stefan Knutsson. I'm an equity analyst, and I follow the company that will present next, which is Prevas, a technology consultancy firm. And with me today, I have the onboarding CEO, Magnus Welén. Welcome, Magnus.
Thank you. Nice to be here for the first time. Thank you everybody for attending. I will present myself actually, briefly, and then I will present Prevas, and I will present also how our first quarter was, and also how we look upon the way forward in 20 minutes. So it will be quite intense, but I hope you follow me anyhow. Talking about this change, so that we have our offboarding CEO, Johan Strid. He has been running this company for about 5 years now, and we have had a successful journey together with Johan. I will show you later on a graph of the development of Prevas during the last 5 years, which is quite an amazing journey. And I have now the opportunity to continue to build on the platform that has been built over the last years to take Prevas into the future. And as this is a major change, I will be the new CEO from June 1st. I just wanted to briefly tell you a little bit about my background. I'm an engineer. Prevas is an engineering company, and I'm an engineer from Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. I've been working in our customer base for quite many years, actually. I've been working within ABB and Sandvik in different roles, both in product development, R&D, and in production development and operations management. This means that I have a good understanding of the customer and how our customers think. After being a number of years in the industry, I actually moved into the consultancy businesses. So since 2008, I've been working in the consultancy industry. I started out in a small company called Detta in Västerås. We were 20 consultants at the time. And then I've been working together with this fantastic team, growing that business up to well above 100 employees in an organic journey where we grow that consultancy company. We made one acquisition, a small company called Tauberäkning. Then I ended up being acquired by Prevas. As you know, we're working with M&A within Prevas, and actually I'm a part of that process. So I was actually acquired into the company when Prevas a number of years ago acquired a group called Evotech. So that is my journey and my background. And what I believe is the strongest part that I can contribute to Prevas is both the understanding of the customers and understanding of how you organically and by acquisitions grow a successful consultancy company. So that is my background, so you know me. Magnus Welén is my name, yes. So looking into Prevas, some brief hard facts, and then I will tell you a little bit more about the genuine parts of Prevas. We are an engineering company based in Västerås. Was founded in Västerås many years ago. It was 1985. But we're not only engineers. We also work within industrial designers. We have project management. We have business analysts. We have behavioral scientists, more or less. So a number of different competencies. But the core of Prevas is engineering. And I'm also an engineer, as I was mentioning. We are around 900 co-workers in the Nordic markets, with a major part in Sweden. We have operations in Norway and quite substantial business in Denmark, but we're a Nordic-based company. We made 1.3 billion SEK turnover last year with a healthy margin of 12%, which is rather okay in the consultancy industry, I would say. It's a level that we are aiming for. I'm coming back later on to that we have changed our financial targets for Prevas as well, that you might know of. We are certified with ISO 9001 and ISO 13485, which is within medtech development. So I will start with a little bit of the trends. We're talking about trends, that is changing a lot. So I have put together some of the trends for you so that we can have maybe a look into some of these trends. And it's quite a lot of trends, a lot of things happening in the world, isn't it? These are some of the trends. We have demographic changes, we have the climate changes, we have technological changes, we have the recently ChatGPT, AI, machine learning. It's a lot of things happening in the world, isn't it? And one way of looking into this is, oh shit, sorry for the words. It's terrifying. What is this? How can we treat it? How should we cope with all of these changes? And in Prevas, we have landed this, and we think that all of these are possibilities. So our tagline is "Hello Possibility." And that goes through the whole company and how we think. We see the world and we see possibilities. All of these changes are possibilities. Moving further, this is our mission. Our vision. Ingenuity will save the world. We believe that we, through technology and people, actually can improve the world and ultimately save the world. That is what Prevas is about. And looking into our mission, is we co-create technological advancement for the betterment of all, the people, the planet, and the profit. And the most important part of this is that we co-create. We do not in Prevas believe in that we are the strongest by ourselves. We believe in cooperation, in partnerships. We're working with universities, we're working with our clients, we're working with the society. And we believe that we can form networks and then put together the best possible solution for the major problems we have and challenges in the world. And that is something that we at Prevas are working with. And we're really proud about being a part of this journey. And as shareholders, of course, the result of all of this work is a profit. I see the profit as a way of judging if we are doing the right things. And you will later on see if we are doing the right things in terms of profit as well. So what do we do more in detail at Prevas? We're working in two different areas. We're working in product development and production development. And here you have three different examples of what we do in Prevas. Our products that we develop, we have developed over 8,000 products over the years in Prevas. This Hövding helmet you might have seen out in the market. Prevas have been participating in developing this. It's a physical product. Normally our products that we develop are physical. They are advanced. This is actually a very advanced product with software, with hardware, with mechanical development. All of these things included in one product. We have advanced products as well. This is a system we've developed for sepsis. I don't know if you know the word sepsis, but it's, yes, you know, it's, thank you. This is an equipment for doing the blood analysis. In the past, it took days, quite many days, to do the test. You need to know, in order to analyze which kind of sepsis you have, you need to make a test. And we developed, together with a customer, an equipment that does these tests in hours instead of days. And that saves lives. I believe it's fantastic what we can contribute. The products we develop are normally always today connected to the cloud, connected to each other, Internet of Things and all things. So all of our products that we do are connected one way or the other to each other and to the other systems. Looking into production development, where we actually support our customers improving the efficiency in their manufacturing processes. One example here is in sustainable area. We have a software that we developed together with a research institute where we improve how you heat up steel in a steel mill in the more efficient way. When you utilize our software in this, you will reduce the amount of carbon oxide emissions quite substantially because you make it more efficient and the steel also gets a higher quality. So that's one example of sustainable production development that we do. We work a lot with automation. Actually, Prevas was the first company that put a cobot in production in Sweden. A cobot is a robot that interacts with people. So you don't need to put it behind fence, but you can actually work closely together with it. So we are building automation lines for many different customers and other areas with the automation area. And when we work also a lot with digitalization, one example there is Göteborgs Spårvägar, where we have been working for many years together to improve how they do their maintenance work. We work with something called Enterprise Asset Management Systems. And it's a lot about digitalization. So that is product development and production development. That was what we do. And this is a humble view of our market. You recognize it? Actually, the world. What we in Prevas think is that we need to be on par with the demands on a global base. So when we think we need to have the competence to participate in the global market. We have areas where we are delivering services outside of Stockholm, outside of Sweden, outside of Europe as well. But we're not working, just to be clear, with Russia, for example, and Belarus, all of those. But we are working with our partners, so to say, partner countries in the world as such. One fantastic example here, I believe, is that we are actually making advanced FEM calculations for customers in India from Sweden. That's a way of showing world class, I believe. Another interesting example that we're working with is that we're developing gearboxes for e-drive systems for German customers engineered in Sweden. So vehicle industry, Germany, and we compete in that market from Sweden. It's not too bad, is it? I'm quite proud of it, as you might notice. Looking into our customer base, we're working with some well-known companies that a lot of people know about, of course. With Saab is our major customer, Ericsson, ABB, Sandvik, Atlas Copco, and all of these traditional large industrial companies. We also work with small startup, like the Hövding company, for example, is an example of a small startup that Prevas is working with. Our 5 major customers represent 25% of our business. It means that we have a good split between the different customers, which is excellent in a changing economic environment. You can also see the split between different industries, that where you have a quite substantial part in life science. It's a completely different business climate development compared to engineering, energy, etc. But we are in many different customer areas. Then briefly about our strategy. You might have seen this model in the past by Michael Tracy and Fred Viersema, where you can look upon positioning in this way. Either you choose to choose operational excellence, like being the cheapest. You're making extremely efficient. That's one way of doing it. You can choose to be absolutely the best. Many product companies choose to be the ultimately best in their niche. That you can also choose to be customer intimacy, that you are close to your customer and adapting what you do to their needs. And our view upon this is this. Isn't it strange? Or yes, the thing is that Prevas consists of a network of nodes that working together and working individually. And each node choose how they are positioning themselves. If they are aiming to be the absolutely best in their niche area, or if they are closest to the customer, adapting always to their needs. So Prevas' strategy is to be so that each node actually decides on where they should be in order to be competitive. Some other key aspects in the Prevas strategy: add customer value. Everything is about adding customer value, and we work a lot with increasing how we go to our customers, putting together different competencies, partners, and improving the value that we send to our customers. We're building competitive strength. We're investing in different laboratories, in expensive softwares, in methods. So we are also working with building a competitive strength in the consultancy company that we are. We are a decentralized organization, which means that we have entrepreneurs driving the businesses locally. We believe that the decisions are to be taken close to the customer, not in a fancy headquarter far away from the customers. So that is an important part of our strategy that I strongly believe in myself. We have a dynamic network approach, which means that our nodes are working together based on the customer needs. So we're putting together different resources in order to make a higher value to our customers. But last but not least, Prevas is about action, action, action. We are an action-oriented company, so we move forward in a quick pace, which we need to do in order to meet all these possibilities that we see. Okay, a little bit about Prevas, about our strategy, about who I am, and now how do we perform financially, which of course is extremely important. Looking into the first quarter, it was a fantastic quarter. We had historical records for many different metrics, more or less all of them, I would say. Turnover, profit, margin. We grew quite substantially in the first quarter compared to last year, which is a result, of course, of everything we do together in the company. And we reached a profit margin of 15%, which is decent, I would say, in the industry. Looking a little bit more into the details in this, you can see that we in the quarter grew the revenue by 25% and EBITDA by 35%. So we are actually improving the margin as we grow, which is rather good, I would say. One thing I would like to emphasize looking into the first quarter is what one working day more compared to last year, which drives, of course, influences the figures. Next quarter, it will be 1 day less. It's the way it is, but it influences the figures, which is important to have in the background. And this was the thing I talked about earlier in this speech. Looking from 2017 in terms of how we have developed the EBIT margin in Prevas over the time. As you can see, we were quite low. We were below 0. And then we have a continuous trend upwards, which means that we're now stable above 12% EBITDA, which I believe is where we should be. This is EBIT, by the way, so it's another figure in that sense. So it's been an excellent development within Prevas, and we have built a platform for continued growth in the future. We are a profitable company with a fantastic team, with a good market position, and we are prepared to continue this journey. Some highlights for the first quarter. We have revised our financial targets. In the past, we had a target of reaching EBITDA of 10%. Now we improved that to 12%. Because me personally, the board, and the company, and the people in the company, we want to work against targets that are striving and driving us. Having a target, our old target was 10%. Our target was to decrease the profit. That's nothing for us. We want to grow, and we want to move forward, of course. So that is one revised financial target. Another revision we were made on the dividend, which went from 50% up to between 40 to 60. And that is to give us more room in order to finance potential mergers and acquisitions in the future, to have more flexible situation there. During the quarter, we have integrated new companies. We have acquired 4 companies for last year. Factor 10 is a world-class software company we acquired. We have Bitsim now. It's a company with lens-to-lens technology and embedded systems in Kista, Stockholm. Coteco is working in process automation in Västerås. And then we have acquired a company called Myra Industrial Design, which means that Prevas now can actually develop a product from idea through industrial design, through product development, through industrialization, and actually building a plant. And this is something I believe that we can do a lot more with in the future. But that was a typical acquirement in Prevas, where we completed our portfolio of competence to our customer. So Myra and the other integrated nodes in the systems are extremely good for us for the future. And another positive thing about the first quarter was that we leveraged our cooperation within Prevas. One example is that we're working together with different nodes. In this case, it's Stockholm, it's Västerås, it's Linköping, and it's Karlstad. And we're working with a major project for the defense industry that will have tens of thousands of engineering hours. So it's a massive project that we will run. And the reason that we can do that is working together and utilizing the common strengths within Prevas, which we are doing now. Looking into the market, what do we think about the market? We strongly believe that the need for our core competences will increase over time. And what I talk about then is our ability to solve complex products, complex problems in different manners, putting together different competences and solving the really, really tricky questions. That is where Prevas has strength, and that demand will grow over time. I'm totally convinced. Then, of course, there will be some bumps. I was mentioning our customer base, and we are positioned in many areas where the global trends is supporting the demand. The energy transitions, the electrification, the automation, the digitalization, and sorry to say, the defense industry, we have a strong position there as well. That's growing. It's terrible that it's growing, but we take a part in doing our responsibility to support the defense industry as well. It's important for us, even more important now in this tragic situation with Ukraine and the war. And generally speaking, a conclusion is that we view the market as normal. Looking at the way forward, what do we see ahead? I think this is good because this rocket here shows a little bit my thinking about Prevas and the future. It's a little bit humble, isn't it? But we see that we will continue to go skyrocketing in Prevas, of course. But what we need to do in Prevas is to continue to navigate in this exciting world, to be flexible, to be quick, to be active in order to meet the different demands and transfer our resources to the areas where the demands are. So finally, I would put it like this. We continue to execute on our plans in order to be perceived as a premium company from the shareholder point of view, from the customer point of view, from the co-workers point of view, and from the society. That is ultimately our target, to be really perceived as a premium company. So that was a little bit about Prevas. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Magnus. And it's nice to have you here, even though if you have not officially taken over from Johan.
Yeah. Trainee, is it?
Exactly. But Johan managed to take Prevas through quite a journey, as you showed here. Is there still things to improve? And if so, what will be your main priorities initially?
It's a lot to improve. It's always a lot to improve. It's not that we do something bad, but it's always a journey ahead of us. So I think we have an excellent platform built up, as I was saying, and based on that we will continue to grow because there's so much possibilities left to explore in the marketplace. And with this team that we have, I see no limits what we can achieve together then. So there is a lot to do.
And I get that you are not that worried about the macroeconomic picture, even though everyone is talking about an recession coming. But how about, I mean, one topic that usually emerges in the consulting space when you talk about the recession is that the customers get more cautious, maybe a bit more price awareness creeps in. How are you dealing with that, and are you seeing potential to keep raising prices now when wages come up?
I would put it like this, that many of our customers will continue to have large demands. What we see is that the orders we take now is even longer ahead in time than it was in the past. That is quite contradictory, isn't it? But that is what we see. We received orders for a fantastic project where we will actually develop a system, a safety system for a vehicle manufacturer that is years ahead. So we see that the order books is filling up over time. And that is not mainly, I would say, in short-term projects where you work on site as a customer. It's more of these complex solutions that we work together with our customers on a strategic level. That is where we see good order intake, I would say, as well.
And you also told us that you have a background in ABB and Sandvik, for example.
Yes.
Prevas also have a lot of customers in that space. When you visit your customers, how far would you say that they have come in terms of automation, digitalization, and how much is still to be done?
I would say it depends a lot, but what is common with all of our customers is that they urge and they see the need to improve. And even the ones that are extremely good, actually it's contradictory, that the customers that I would say are in the forefront, they talk the most about how bad they are and how much they want to improve, because they are aware of the possibilities. So that's a fantastic part about automation and all of what we do, that it's so much left to do. Even if you are super, then you can be even better. So that means that the demand is more or less over time it will grow anyhow. Yes.
Perfect. And you also have a quite diverse exposure to different end markets, as we saw, which is good as it limits the risk to
Yes.
certain segments. But is there any end markets where you see large potential and think that Prevas can do more than they do today?
I would say that we have many markets that we can grow. I mean, look into the market share that Prevas has today, it's not so large. We can grow in all of our different markets, I would say. But if I should say something, in the energy area, for example, where we see booming demands, and that will continue. And also about electrical power, how we support with those things. All of this connected to the energy transitions, there we see big needs as well. And that is one area. Short term, unfortunately, the defense industry will also grow a lot as well. And also the digitalization will continue as well, the mega trends. So I think we're well positioned for continued growth. based on the fantastic platform we have. Because now we have the structure to accelerate as we have the profit levels, as we have the customer base.
And the defense industry there, are you, I mean, I just suppose that they haven't done a lot of investments because we have, you know, depressed investments into that segment for quite some time. Are they lagging far behind, would you say, in terms of what
no,
needs to be done?
I wouldn't say that they are lagging far behind, because they are good at what they are doing in their industry, but they have a good potential, if I put it that way.
Okay. Lastly, you do still have a strong balance sheet, and you have increasingly been active on acquiring new companies to the group. Will that continue to be a focus, and what are you primarily looking for?
Yes, we will continue to work both with organic growth and with M&A. Actually, I didn't mention that, but actually Johan, the former CEO, actually the CEO today, he will continue to work in the board of Prevas, so it will be a smooth transition, which is good. And he will also support with M&A from his board position as an assignment so that we maintain the pace in that area as well, even though I'm new. So that we, as a group, will actually be able to accelerate, even though I'm new. That's a good thing. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
of course, but
yes, we do. But we will be picky with our acquisitions, because it's humans we talk about, and in the consultancy industry, everything is about people, and you need to acquire companies that want to be a part of Prevas. Hostile takeovers is not a good thing in the consultancy industry, I would say that.
Do you find a lot of targets that you are evaluating?
Surprisingly, yes, I would say that.
Okay, perfect.
So it's a good market.
Yeah. By that, I would like to thank you, Magnus, for coming and presenting with us today, and for every one of you listening in.
Thank you.